Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Track Talk, episode number 7. Hitting Dover tonight. Excited about Dover. It's one of my favorite tracks on the entire schedule. It's one of them tracks where you see it, eyes kind of light up for me personally. Uh, in here tonight with Mr. Mark Arthur. Mark, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. That old cliche, I'm doing good. Dover, what are you expecting, and are you a fan?
Uh, so normally tracks like this this is the way it goes in Blazing Pedals. Normally tracks that we think, ooh, this is gonna be what kind of show it'll be tonight, and then normally I don't know what the guys we got new, so we'll see how that plays out. But normally when we always think that it's going to be terrible, ends up being a pretty daggone good race
Right.
with low caution. So that's what I'm hoping happens tonight, but we'll see.
Right. Now, you personally, are you a fan of Dover?
Yes, I like I like any track. You really have to drive it. So, I'm not a fan of the way iRacing has been making the tracks and cars feel lately, but I do like Dover.
Right. I remember liking Dover back in like NASCAR heat days when I was playing console and stuff like that. I was a fan of Dover, and then I love it on iRacing too. Well, Mark, we are joined by a special guest. Somebody who's actually older than you, and that's very shocking because you're old and decrepit. Who do we have up here with us this week?
Mr. Philip VanVleet, driver of the '89 for TNA Motorsports.
Look at that shirt right there from Savage Edge Apparel as well. That's a good looking tee right there. Well,
how's everybody doing?
We're doing good, Mr. Phillip. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Can't complain. I'm upright and breathing, right?
I hear that. Phillip, going into Dover tonight. What's your thoughts? You've heard me and Mark kind of go along about it. How do you feel?
Yeah, I echo Mark's feeling on the track. I think this is one of those tracks where you look at it and go, man, are we going to do well here or not? But it ends up being a good race. I like the track. It's like Mark, said, it's a driver's track. I think you're going to have to really pay attention to the tires, especially with this setup we have. The overheating issue. So hopefully, people will understand that they can't go out and run it really hard to begin with because it'll cause problems.
So let's touch on that a little bit. Overheating's been a somewhat issue all season long, right? With the setups we're using, they are the open setups that iRacing offers. They're supposed to be a little better, a little faster, more racy, and they have been. But if you get any type of damage on the front end of these cars, you are at risk to start getting hot in the temps. So, especially a track like Dover, you're going to be really high up in RPMs all night. You're going to be driving off in the corner. That may come back and bite people, Philip. That's a really, really good point right there.
Yep. Yeah, I like to drive this track where I'm off early. So going into the corners, I think that's going to be a key to keeping the tires under it, for me anyway.
Right.
So that's the way I've approached the track all along. I seem to have really good results there if that happens. So last year didn't reflect that, but that was a whole nother issue there. But it was just a big wreck there that caused a lot of people problems with that.
And Mike Hamlin's already came to me and asked me about the setup, saying that he did a little testing and practice and nudged the car into the wall a little bit and said that then he went out and it was barking at him that he was overheating and stuff. So,
sure.
I don't know, just people going to have to watch out for it. That's part of racing, right?
That's for sure.
It sounds crude, but the best way to solve it, don't hit something. Don't hit something with the front end of the car, right? And I know we say that kind of in jest because I'll probably do it, Mark will probably do it, Philip probably do it. All of us will probably do it at least once a season. You just got to manage it. We're racing. We all have the same setup. Just got to manage it.
Right.
And we can't really just knock tape off the car, right? We can't take the car and just say, well, let's bump 10% of tape off of it because then it's going to get tight, right? It's not the same setup. So, short of going to the other setup, that's the only other thing we could do. And we said, at the beginning of the season, if there was an open setup available, that's what we would use, and just going to have to live by it and see what happens. Yep. I mean, it really hasn't been a problem, right? I mean, people's got nose damage in some of the other races, and a couple of people blew up, but it wasn't really a problem.
I haven't been hot ever this season, but usually if I'm in a wreck, I'm usually wrecked out, right? I'm going down getting damage fixed or something like that. But as far as getting hot, I can't think of a time in my head where I was actually getting hot. I run the digital dash, so it's telling me my temperatures, and yeah, so I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't.
than something like Daytona, when you're right behind somebody,
Right.
but
No.
um,
Yeah.
peeking out every once in a while. But other than that, yeah, it hasn't really been an issue for me,
Right.
overheating. But you know, I'm not. I'm one of those that doesn't tend to drive the car super hard, so I like to try and keep the tires under me.
Right.
That's just the way my driving style is. So
Well, that's wisdom. It came with age, right? As young
yeah,
guys, we're out there just killing it, right? Just killing it, killing
yeah,
ourselves, killing people
it hasn't
around
been
us.
working out too well for me this year, but
Right. Well,
so
some days we're the bug, some days we're the windshield, right? And
there you go.
I feel like I've been the bug a lot. Well, speaking of that, speaking of how the season's going, let's head on into driver spotlight time. This is where we're going to spotlight our guest each and every week. Mr. VanVleet, I think you've heard from all of us. We've all felt like we haven't had a great season. Uh, Philip is the driver of the number 89 car. He has a season best finish of 10th, which was at the opening event at the Clash. So, wasn't a points finish, and your best points finish, we laughed and talked about it off air. Sonoma finished 18th at Sonoma.
That's just crazy.
Kind of crazy. Uh, that's your best finish, but that just shows right there that the luck has not been in your favor. When it comes to racing, anything can happen. Your average starts 17th, your average finish 24th, and Philip, you're currently sitting 25th in the points thing. So I just spewed a lot of stuff. Talk about our season off the page. Like what? Give us a rundown of your season so far.
My season so far, uh, it's it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just uh, a lot of being in the wrong place at the wrong time
Right.
when other incidents happen, and trying to avoid things and just get caught up. Either that's just the story of the season. It's just it doesn't matter. It seems like to me if I try and be a little bit more aggressive and try and run up front, or just stick around in the back to try and avoid things. It hasn't worked out either way for me, so I don't know what to do right now at this point. So yeah,
Right.
it's been it's been something. I feel Rick's pain. Let's put it that way. Rick's talked about how horrible his season's been going, and yeah, I can feel his pain.
Right. I'm
So
right there with you, brother.
yeah,
I'm right there with you. So out of us three, Mr. Mark Arthur, of course. Mr. Barbie over here. He is currently running the best out of the hosts right now here tonight. He's running 12th in the standings. Uh, Mark, you got one top 10 this season. How has your season been for you thus far? I know you say rough, but that's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's pretty rough in my opinion for
For your
myself.
standards. I get it.
Generally, I'd be running better, but I've been involved in a lot of stuff. I mean, some of it's probably my fault, and some of it may not be. I mean, I feel like every one of them is my fault, right, in the end. But
Right.
if I could stay out of trouble and figure out pit road, I'd probably be doing a lot better. Pit road's been my nemesis this year.
You notice it's a running trend. Stay out of trouble, right? I'm sitting
Yep.
21st. And I would say that it's not like we're pushing blame off of somebody else. Like Mark said,
oh,
he may have caused the wreck. Philip said he
yep.
may have caused the wreck. I'm sure I've caused the wreck, right? So,
Mhm.
but when the wrecks happen and we just can't get out of them, it's just the way the dice is falling right now for all three of us. Dover tonight, I really hope turns a new leaf because I love Dover. We all seem to love Dover. Uh, Very abrasive type track, Mark, ain't it? Let's head over to your track facts and you give us just a few little tidbits of what you know about Dover thus far.
Oh, well, like you said, it is a concrete track, right? So that means it's going to chew up tires. Most of the concrete tracks do. That right front's going to be pretty daggone important tonight, I think. Dover's very notorious for eating turn two wall. A lot of people get into gas too early, and it just pushes, and they just plow into the wall, and it causes a lot of accidents when they bounce off. And maybe a car's trying to pass them up underneath, and they'll bounce off right down into them. So that's going to be something to watch tonight. Turn two and turn four, just knocking it off the wall. Um, uh, Dover they call like a self-cleaning track. Usually, it just cars will wash down, but I don't know if that's true in NASCAR or not. I mean, in iRacing or not. Everything don't tend to work the same on this sim as it does in real life, but I don't know. Be some stuff to watch for with that. Grooves to the track. A lot of people running real low. I don't think there's a high groove in this track, but a lot of people will do a high to low thing to avoid the wall. You'll probably see me doing that later in the race, and
kind of a diamond effect.
not more or less a diamond. And diamond, you usually enter low, let it drift up, then come back out low. But it'll be more of like a entering middle to high, and kind of letting that wait till it turns down, and just cut it back down to that white line to avoid the walls on turn 2 and turn 4.
Sure.
Just a little bit more comfortability if you do it that way. That's usually the way I run the track, just to be comfortable that I'm not going to kill that wall and plow a push up into it. And sometimes you can get better runs on people if if you catch them like that, and you can pull underneath them where everybody else is pushing out to the wall. If you can cut it down lower, usually you can get up underneath people that way. But we'll see how it plays out. I didn't do real long runs in practice. I did like 15, 20 laps, but gets pretty tight.
Really, I'm surprised. I thought I knew we would get tight, chew up the right front, but sometimes at Dover you can get a little free. You got a lot of wheel in it trying to dodge that wall. So
coming up over the hill at Dover, it gets pretty free. So if you're running it wrong, you got a lot of wheel turned in it. And you come up over that hill, it just unloads, and you can get free out at the wall. But that's generally because you're pushing, right? And it's just, to me, that's tight. I'm just tight. Even if I get loose at the end, that's still tight to me.
Right, makes sense.
Yeah, I think that, just like Mark said, that right front's going to be the key tonight at this particular track. So,
what about passing at Dover? Dover is always like, if I feel like if you're on fresh tires versus somebody, you can pass them, right? But if you're on an equal playing field with the tires, I feel like Dover can be a chore to pass if somebody really wants to race you and race for it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where, if you can get that almost second groove to work, you're going to hold people down and not be able to, allow them to pass you. So I think that's where people are going to try and pass us down below, and maybe make them use their tires up by trying to do that. So we'll see.
Alrighty, folks. We got a little bit left. We can hit the segment we're gonna go to. It's called Guess That Track. These boys have not seen any of the pictures I got coming up on a slideshow. This is not timed or anything. They can just sit here and guess it. I'll give them a few hints just off the head, and we'll see if they can guess the track or not.
Nashville Speedway, Super Speedway.
Close.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You know what it is, Philip?
Yes, the fairgrounds.
No, sir.
No.
Nope.
Oh, is that Richmond?
Nope. Close. Very close. Very, very close. You're in the ballpark. So this track was designed.
Concrete. It looks concrete as well. So
that's kind of deceiving. I think, if I off the top of my head, don't just focus on the concrete portion of it, and I'll tell you why afterwards. I think if this track don't have concrete, I'm almost positive it does not anymore, or does not at all. The picture kind of makes it look like it does, but I don't think it does.
This is a track that we go to.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Rockingham?
Not Rockingham. It's so it was designed loosely off Richmond by Rusty Wallace.
Oh, is that Gateway?
Nope. You were so close. When you fired out the gate of Nashville Super Speedway, I was like, oh man, they're going to get it really quick. So Xfinity races here in real life. I'm trying to think of other hits. It's in the Midwestern portion of the United States. The track name is named after a state. The state's known for.
Not me.
It's a 4-letter track. I cannot believe it.
Oh, okay. It's Iowa.
Iowa. Iowa. Now
Yeah.
let me ask
Yeah,
you
it's
this.
looking up to Mike Iowa,
Let
not to
me
me.
let me ask.
Man,
So you can't see. I could tell. I was one of my favorite tracks. I thought I'd be able to tell. Now I'm looking them up, right? So I can't tell you if I know or not. But I feel like I would know it with this picture right here, and then the second one over the track. Now the track map ain't this one right here. Cause I remember the flowers and stuff. But
You would know it because you looked it up.
that's what I'm saying. I looked it up, but if y'all was doing it, I think I would have got it. But I don't know. It's hard when you get put on the spot like that, right? But yeah, Philip was giving some good guesses. When you fired off Nashville Superfield, I was like, oh, he's gonna get it for sure because he's in the right
well,
realm here.
what was throwing me off was the all the background, all the topography and everything.
Right.
It was just it didn't look like Iowa because I've driven by that track
Really?
a few times, so just in my travels and everything. But so it just I thought it would be a lot flatter out
Right.
and around it, but I don't know. So, yeah,
That's pretty cool.
interesting.
Pretty cool. Now, Mark, we're gonna come to the. It's time for y'all to y'all gonna work against each other and the people viewing. For guess that driver. I'm gonna give y'all a few hints, and then after I give the second hint, I'm gonna start the timer. And yeah, y'all got 2 minutes to go through 10 hints.
You gonna tell us who it is again this week?
I'm not.
No.
We're getting better at it. I am not. All right. I'm gonna, like I said, folks, I'm gonna read the first 2 hints off. Then I'm gonna start the timer. That way to give them a little bit of time. All right. Guess that driver. This driver is currently inside the top 20 in points. And this driver has started inside the top 10 twice, but finished outside the top 10 in each and every race. Timer is starting now.
Amanda Sherman.
Nope. This driver made the playoffs last season. This driver has 2 digits as his number. This driver has raced with BPL for many seasons and has 5 or over 5 pole awards. This driver.
How many seasons did you say?
Many. I'm not gonna give you exacts.
Backover.
Nope. This driver's number added together is more than 5, but less than 15. This driver resides where everything is just a tad bit bigger in life.
Oh, John Perkins.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Got it in a minute and 2.
Yeah.
I knew that was the one that was going to give it away. I knew that was it.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. So y'all got it at a minute and 20. Or a minute and 01, excuse me. That was pretty good. Yeah. Was that, how hard was that until you got that? Like, was you, when you're sitting there trying to think of drivers, did Perkins ever come up in either one of y'all's mind?
No.
Not to start with, nope. Not until you said it was bigger. Everything's bigger where you live. So that was.
So I'm trying to think of hints.
Texas, okay, that's John Perkins, but Mark beat me to it. So
even in his household, things are bigger.
Well, we'll let you elaborate on that one another day. Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm glad
that was
good.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Sorry, so let's just read the final 2 hints because I actually got these from him. I was stumped on John Perkins. Couldn't think of anything else. Or last 3, excuse me. This driver has flown in a plane before. This driver has one of the higher I ratings in the league. And this driver is 2 in the same. This driver's number is 2 in the same.
Gotcha.
Meaning 33. So that was pretty cool. Mr. Perkins, thank you for giving me some trivia. It's also cool I get to learn about some of you guys, right? I just go look at the standing, like, who are we picking out this week? And just pick old Perkins.
Yeah, it's always nice to find out those other facts. And
right. The whole bigger in Texas, or everything, he lives where everything's just a little bit bigger, I knew. Mark perked up as soon as I said that. He's like, oh, John Perkins.
Yep.
Old head. All right, Mark. I'm tired of losing to you on the track, and I'm tired of losing to you in the pick. I'm tired of losing to you anytime. let's go over to the track track talk pick'em segment of the week. I'll get it out eventually. Easy for me to say. As you see right there, man, Big Ugly. He's winning 5-1. My one, and our guest actually putting up a goose egg right now. So let's see if
That's not right.
Right. Let's see if Philip can change that. It has all these people on his side. See if he can change that. For the folks at home, Mark cannot pick Jamie Walker, Kyle Wellman, Brian Dees, or Derek Paulson. Remember, these will reset after 12 weeks. Mark, last week's winner. You have the floor. Who do you want?
So I was gonna go with somebody, but I haven't seen them in practice today, so I don't think I want to go with that person. I was gonna go with Ty, but I haven't seen him in practice yet.
Well, what's his Discord name? What's his Discord name?
His Discord name is Ty.
Ty, no practice.
Yeah, right. But just based off where Ty finished last year, it was a different car, so
right.
And it's probably different scenarios with a caution toward the end there and everything. But I'm gonna go with Tanner tonight. Actually,
okay. All right.
Don't let me down to get a win, Tanner.
I got it like the best of both worlds tonight. I'm getting something tonight at least, huh? I can control it. I'm just playing. All right, so that one surprised me. I don't know. So
well, you were up there running with me last year, so
right.
I'm putting my faith in you this week.
Right on, right on. All right, so it's my turn now. I cannot pick Dalton Kilroy, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Jamie Walker, or Chris Carroll. So I tried the strategy of not taking heavy hitters at the start, but I think I took all my heavy hitters at the start. But it's still time to get some points here. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Derek Paulson. I got it. That's another MFRD driver. I'm going to go Paulson. Derek. And then our guest, Mr. Philip VanVleet. You said you had a pick earlier. You hope we didn't take it. Did we take your pick?
Well, Mark did. I was going to pick you, Tanner.
Oh, yes! Oh, my God. There's 2 people in the world that has faith in me.
But I do have a backup, and I'm going to go with somebody that's actually new to the league, so I'm going to go with Stephen T. Johnson.
Steven, that's a good pick. I can't lie. Yep. None of us have picked him, and I kind of forgot about him because he's new, right? That's a really good pick. Steven
I think if he keeps the tires under him and stays out of trouble, he's got a very good chance. So
that's one of the favorites right there. Yep. I'm interested to see how tonight goes. I really am. I'm hoping that we can get out here and have some green flag runs because tire fall off is huge here if you allow it to be. And yeah, man, I'm race number 7. Where do we go next week? Anybody know off the top of our head?
Easter.
We're off next week, huh?
Yeah, that's
correct.
Thank you for reminding me about that, Mark. So we will not have a show next week. We'll be hunting eggs with our children. And Mark's, he's probably still acts like a children, so he'll be out there hunting eggs too.
Heck with them kids. We're going to be sitting at the table eating.
I knew something like that was coming. Yep. I knew something. Oh, Mark. Final thoughts before we close up shop here tonight. Oh, no, wait. We got about 3 minutes left. Let me do the hot take. So, hot takes. It's going to be over, under. I'm going to fire something off just random off the top of my head to Mark and then to Philip, and they're going to give me over, under. And it'll be about tonight's race. It's just something fun to close out the show. So, hot take number 1. A total of 6 cautions tonight, Mark.
What? Under.
Under 6? All right. Philip VanVleet. Our first caution of the race will happen lap 20.
Under.
There will be 4 or more different leaders tonight. Mark.
Oh, over.
Over. That's pretty simple. Let's see. Now I'm on rapid fire trying to think of other stuff to fire at you. Mm,
More than 2 people will miss pit road tonight. To you, Tanner.
Over. Keep on hitting me with it. This is whatever you think of. I should have had these typed. I just couldn't think of anything. But just little random stuff like that. Random tidbits.
Yeah, the pit road entrance is going to be a little bit of trouble for people, I think.
It can be brutal on old tires too. Brutal.
Especially as slidey as the tires and tracks have been lately.
Right.
So that's what you were implying, Walker, when you were talking about iRacing and the way the setup feels, right, Mark? They're not very grippy, just all over.
Yeah, it's just like, and after watching the Cup race last week, I was making the joke, well, maybe it is real because we was watching them. Was it Coda, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were just locking the tires up going in the corner, and you see just all the smoke going off. And we drive the cars, and we're like, man, ain't no way this thing feels like this. The car just won't stop, slides the left front tire, just locks it up. But maybe it is real. I mean, I've never sat in one of the cars, so what do I know? But
it's not real to what we've always seen, though, and how we've always raced. So
yeah, it just doesn't feel good, right?
Right.
I mean, it just feels like the car's on top of the track, almost like you're driving with cinder block tires. And it's like just sliding all over the place, and it doesn't feel like rubber on asphalt. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like it has any kind of bite to the car.
Right. Yeah, you're definitely on top of the track. That's
right.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. That's for sure.
Cinder block tires, huh, Mark?
That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm driving the cinder block.
Kadook.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're gonna go ahead and close up shop. Practice is going up right now for our drivers, so get in there, turn some laps, practice your long runs, and let's have a good race tonight. I'm gonna jump over there. Mark, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sitting in with me. Got him off Conan. I know he's been playing the heck out of that game lately. And
that's what happens when you're not working, right?
That's
you
right.
get to do all that kind of stuff.
Right. And then Mr. VanVleet, thank you for coming and sitting in with us. Found out a little bit of information about you.
Yep.
You see, he's a Dolphins fan. He's a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Got a Top Golf machine behind him, and then got Mrs. Pac-Man. So he's got a cool little setup. Found out some about Mr. VanVleet. Good luck to you tonight, brother.
Yep, thank you.
And
I might need it.
I think we're all gonna need it, right? I got the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
I had two people two people in here had faith for me. Like, that will never happen. In all seriousness, thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all have a happy Easter spent with your loved ones, and don't chase eggs. I guess eat good food, like Mark said. And until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.